class, and welcome to Unit 1, paragraph writing. So the purpose of this video is two parts. I want to give you a rundown of what we're doing. I want to show you where everything is, and I want to show you how to use the resources that are available and how they tie in with what we're doing. The first thing I want to do is give a run through of what we're doing. We're going to write 4 paragraphs, and we're going to take them 2 at a time. We're going to take paragraph 1 and 2. You're going to write it, peer review, revise, and then you're going to pick the one you feel is the strongest and submit that for grading. You will then turn around and do the same thing for paragraph 3 and 4. You are required to write all 4, but you're only going to get graded for 2. So that's the quick basics of it. So let me show you where the resources are and what you need to do first before going any further. Here are the learning outcomes and the unit objectives that we're going to be hitting on this week. First, here's your book. This is your textbook, and this is what you need to be using for this unit. So you'll click on it and you'll see 4 chapters over here. The 4th chapter is the rubric. This is what I'm going to be grading you on. So the very first chapter is going to be how to write a paragraph. You know, you have to make sure you get that main idea and you encompass that in a topic sentence. And then you have supporting details, and then you have that closing sentence. You're not moving on, and you're not tying this paragraph in with anything else. So it's really important to have that concluding sentence. And so all of this explains that, and it briefly describes the paragraphs that we're going to be writing right here. We're not doing illustration, but decide on a controlling idea. What's your topic, and develop a topic sentence. Your topic sentence is so important because 1, it sets the tone of your entire paragraph, and 2, that's what your entire paragraph is going to be about. So when I'll get you to some examples and I'll show you, but that's going to be the very first thing you have to do. And then you move on, and I'm not going to go through all of this because you guys would stop watching this video because it would get really long. But you're going to give examples, supporting ideas to prove your topic sentence. And then it says complete the paragraph's idea or transition. We're not writing an essay, so this right here, you're going to do the first part, complete the paragraph's idea. So right here is a really good website that tells you everything you need to know about essay writing. Paragraph, not essay, paragraph writing, which will come in handy when we get to writing our paragraphs. The next chapter are going to be the examples. So if you go back to this one, if you scroll down, let me see here. Right here, it talks about it tells you what the main purpose is for the types of paragraphs that we're writing. So narration tells a story, description provides details. So right here is where it gives you just a very brief 1-sentence overview of what really your purpose is. Now I've elaborated on it in the directions, but you can get to the examples here, or you can click here, either way. So here are the examples. So right here, you can, if you look at the topic sentence, right here, this paragraph is all about just that. Right here, it's all about that. The process one, it's all about this topic sentence. And so when you go to the directions for these paragraphs, have a couple of tabs up so you can read the directions, and then you can go and look at these examples to help generate ideas and to help generate how to effectively write your paragraph. So let's go to chapter 3 here. It's just, I like this one because this is explains how to write the paragraph again, but it also gives you examples of original draft, a rough draft that's maybe not so good, and then how to make it better. And so I think that this would really show you examples of not so strong paragraph, and then what you do to make that specific paragraph stronger. So it is your responsibility to make sure that you go in and you read these your textbook. Just because it's, online doesn't diminish the fact that these are your resources and this is your textbook for the class, and you're required to read your textbook. So make sure and go through this and read it and take notes. Make sure you message me on anything you don't understand or want clarification on. So after you go through and you read all these resources, you're going to move on to paragraphs, almost there, 1 and 2. Paragraph 1 is going to be the narrative paragraph. You can read all of that. It has all the directions. But the main thing you need to keep in mind is that you're going to be telling us a story. I don't want something boring where you're like, oh, I don't know what to write, or I waited to the last minute, so I'm just going to write about what I did last night. Unless what you did last night was really meaningful or had a really big impact on your life, not so much. So I want you to think about things that have happened in your life that have been big, that have had the biggest impact on your life. That's where you're going to start brainstorming. After you do that, you're going to think about how you can narrow that down. You don't want to cover a really big time frame because you can't accomplish that in a paragraph and you'll lose your reader. So what's your topic and how can I condense it and how am I going to tell that story? That's going to be your narrative, and that's explained here, and it covers it, and you can go look back at the example here in the resources that I've given you. Paragraph 2 is descriptive, and you may think, well, that's just like a narrative. No, because you're going to not tell a story, you're going to focus on a specific thing or idea, and you're going to describe it in such a way where your audience feels that they could reach out and touch it. So I want you to think about all the 5 senses. The smell. Okay, what do you smell? What do you hear? What do you see? What do you feel? What do you taste? And those are the kind of things that you're going to be using for a descriptive paragraph. After you do this, you're going to type them up. You're going to have those sentences for me. I want you to ask me very specific questions, and you're going to come back out and you're going to post it right here. You're going to post your rough drafts, one post, one document, have a title, make sure you have all of the elements that you're supposed to have that's in the directions, and post it, and then peer review 2 of your classmates. That means you're going to be reviewing 4 paragraphs, and I do expect you to answer all of these questions right here, and you cannot give just yes, no, I don't know, it's good, you don't need to do nothing. That's what I get a lot, and that will not get you a grade. A lot of people are really hesitant to give peer reviews because they think, I'm not very good at writing. Now remember, this is a peer review, and you guys are all in an entry-level, beginning-level writing class. Don't be afraid to put it out there. If you question something a peer maybe has said to you, then email me and let me be the judge of that. But I want everybody to really give that feedback for those peer reviews. So you'll be doing 4 total, 2 for classmate 1 and 2 for classmate 2. That gives you 4. That's 4 total. So, don't forget to have those questions for me on it. You can even have it and you can highlight it in your paragraph. You could highlight the sentence and then next to it in another color, did I word this correctly? Make it easy to find, but really be specific on questions that you want me to address on your paragraphs. After you do your peer review, you're going to revise it. You cannot submit the same exact one. You have to revise it, and you have to take off the questions at the bottom that you've written for me. And then you're going to pick one, not both, and you're going to submit it here. And this is where I'm going to grade it. And then we're going to move forward, or right here, submit final, where it says submit final paragraph. This is right here, is only where I'm entering your grade for right here. You do nothing right here. That's for me. This is for you. This is for you. We will be doing paragraph 3 and 4 immediately after 1 and 2. This is where we take a turn and we're doing a little bit more technical writing. First one's going to be a process. You're going to think about something that you know how to do, and something that you like to do and that you could describe well. You're going to have sentences like first, next, then. I don't want a recipe. I don't want a list. And you have to be really careful with choppy, simple sentences and the way you start each sentence, which I've talked about that there. But you don't want to go over your audience's head or go under. So, for example, you wouldn't want to, in a paragraph, write about how to reprogram a computer or a hard drive. And you also wouldn't want to do something as simple as tying your shoe. So that's where you have to really analyze and know your audience. And you may say, I don't know my audience. Well, you have to think your audience are college students in a beginning classroom or beginning English classroom setting. That's how you know your audience, and think about who you're surrounding yourself with, within this class. So the last one's going to be classification. The example I've given on here you cannot do, but this is where you're going to think about a broad topic that has subtopics. For a paragraph, you only need 2 or 3 subtopics. The example that I've given is social media sites, and you could do, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and talk about those. Now, you're not comparing. You're just going to be writing about, telling us about the different categories of your main topic. Now, you have to be really careful with topic sentences for this one, because let's say I'm doing that one. I couldn't just say Facebook is a great social media site, because then I'm setting up that paragraph to only be about Facebook. It has to be something that encompasses everything that you're going to write about in your paragraph. So then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to peer review, ask me questions, revise it, and then you're going to submit your final paragraph right here. So right here, make sure you're looking over all of that, and I think you're going to do great. And let's get going.